This is my prime example of people that's puppet masters trying to control the narrative.
We are awaiting Mayor Henyard to arrive. We will give another 5 minutes.
Mayor Tiffany Henyard delayed the meeting with no explanation.
This story reads like a political drama, and you won't want to miss a second. Tiffany Henyard, the embattled mayor of Dolton, Illinois and Thor Township supervisor, is at the center of a town in turmoil. Accused of financial mismanagement and using local government for personal gain, Henyard refuses to back down. Her rise to power was chaotic, but her potential downfall is looking even messier. As the town teeters on the edge, Henyard's desperate fight to hold on to power has turned Dolton and Thor Township into a political battleground. Stay tuned for this wild ride.
Subjects, we are your bosses. We are the citizens of Dolton, and you will not continue to treat us like that because you are on.
The latest twist in this ongoing political saga centers around a Democratic caucus that turned into an all-out brawl. Tiffany Henyard, currently the Thornton Township supervisor, was trying to secure her place on the ballot for re-election, but ran into trouble. Her slate of candidates was incomplete because she didn't have a certified assessor. Enter Napoleon Harris, an Illinois state senator and Democratic committeeman, who swooped in with a full slate of candidates and secured the nomination. This was the first time in 30 years that Thornton Township Democrats used a caucus instead of a primary. And the drama didn't disappoint. Henyard's reaction? Outrage. She stormed out of the caucus, accusing Harris and his team of running an illegal process. Henyard didn't hold back, calling Harris a coward and vowing to sue everyone involved. "They can't beat me," she declared, insisting the only reason a caucus was held instead of a primary was to block her from running. Her supporters echoed these claims, accusing Harris of voter suppression and rigging the process by letting his backers into the venue first, leaving many of Henyard's supporters locked out. Literally. The political tension in Thornton Township is reaching new heights, and it's anyone's guess what will happen next.
Tonight, if you don't get the Democratic Party's nomination.
What do you mean? I will be victorious tonight. We'll see. People out here, they're not gonna go.
Tiffany Henyard's tenure as Dolton mayor and Thornton Township supervisor has been plagued by controversy. From lavish spending to questionable leadership decisions, her critics argue that chaos follows her wherever she goes. And they might have a point. Reports allege that Henyard used township credit cards for personal expenses, including thousands spent on trips and luxury items. One particularly shocking revelation is that she reportedly spent over $40,000 on Amazon in a single day. That's not exactly what most people expect from a public official. The ongoing scandals have only added fuel to the fire of her political battles.
Democratic caucus works right here in Thornton Township. You can also say that she flunked out because her name is not appearing on the ballot.
If you thought Tiffany Henyard's financial mismanagement stopped with personal spending, think again. A report by former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, brought in as a special investigator, revealed that Dolton's general fund went from a surplus of over $5 million to a deficit of nearly $4 million in just 2 years. Lightfoot's findings also uncovered widespread misuse of village funds, including 2 police officers who earn more in overtime than their entire annual salaries. One reportedly made over $100,000 in overtime alone. Meanwhile, the residents of Dolton, with a median income of just $24,000, are left paying the price. But Henyard's leadership isn't just about financial chaos, it's also about power. One of her most controversial moves has been using the police as her personal security detail. Critics argue this removes officers from the streets, making the town less safe. Former Dolton Police Chief Robert Collins, who was fired by Henyard, criticized her use of police for personal errands and appearances, calling it a waste of resources. To make matters worse, multiple local businesses claimed they were targeted with police raids after refusing to donate to Henyard's civic events. One business owner even went to the FBI, accusing Henyard of harassment and retaliation.
Wow, it's like, grassroots. It was organic when a lot of this things started at the township, where the people were, just showing.
One of the most bizarre accusations against Tiffany Henyard involves her alleged targeting of the Dolton Park District, an entirely separate government entity. The Park District claims Henyard issued over $2,000 in citations for basic maintenance tasks, such as installing new playground equipment and spreading fresh mulch. Park District President Cleo Jones stated that these tasks are done annually to ensure children have a safe, clean environment to play in. "We don't play politics here," Jones said, emphasizing that they should not be dragged into political conflicts. Even more troubling, the Park District has accused Henyard of blocking 2 grants worth over $500,000, potentially costing taxpayers hundreds of thousands.
7 minutes. That's all it took for Tiffany Henyard to be out as the Democratic nominee for Thornton Township supervisor, and she left here visibly.
This isn't the first time Tiffany Henyard has been accused of withholding resources to punish her critics. Trustees have claimed that her administration would delay permits, deny funding, or even shut down businesses run by her political opponents. One trustee described her leadership style as vindictive and controlling, adding that she doesn't just seek power, she wants to crush anyone who questions her. This approach has left many residents feeling frustrated and voiceless. As one Park District executive put it, "What resident wants to look outside their house and see beat-up stuff? If we can upgrade these things, and you're preventing it with a permit, the residents are suffering." Despite these accusations, Henyard continues to maintain her innocence, often blaming others for the controversy surrounding her. In a recent public statement, she lashed out at critics in the media, saying, "And that's just me telling you a little bit, because all this pointing the finger at Tiffany or lying on me, I'm over it now. It's time for me to speak. As I say, truth speaks." She has also accused trustees and other officials of sabotaging her efforts, claiming they are more focused on their political ambitions than on serving the community. Whether this is deflection or genuine frustration, her refusal to take responsibility has only deepened the divide between her administration and the people she was elected to serve.
Regular scheduled village hall meeting turned into political antics where the opponents for Mayor Tiffany Henyard say they're counting
The situation in Thornton Township has reached a boiling point, with chaotic leadership and mounting tension. Interim Police Chief Ronnie Bursar was recently removed after a judge ruled he was ineligible to serve, leaving the police department leaderless and raising public safety concerns. Meanwhile, trustees have openly clashed with Supervisor Henyard, with some boycotting meetings to block her from appointing allies to key positions. As if that wasn't enough, Henyard also warned of a potential government shutdown due to the township's failure to approve insurance coverage. The issue arose when trustees refused to attend meetings, preventing a quorum from being established, which stalled the approval process. Trustee Chris Gonzalez defended the boycott, claiming it was necessary to stop Henyard from appointing a new trustee, who could grant her unchecked power. With these ongoing conflicts, the township's leadership crisis shows no signs of resolution.
25, and clock is ticking.
Tiffany Henyard has fired back at the trustees, accusing them of putting the community at risk by leaving it uninsured. "We have no insurance right now," she warned, highlighting the dangers to the township's vehicles, buildings, and even residents. "How do we operate?" she asked, emphasizing the potential consequences if someone were to get hurt. The standoff between Henyard and the trustees has left residents frustrated, caught in the middle of a government gridlock with basic services in short supply. Despite this, Henyard remains firm in her stance. "I am going to come through on a landslide, just like Trump did," she recently declared to supporters, comparing herself to the former president. "Like it or not, I'm your mayor." However, Henyard's confidence might be misplaced, as she faces an ongoing FBI investigation into alleged corruption. Federal agents have reportedly seized employment records, personnel files, and financial documents as part of their probe. Henyard's allies are also under scrutiny, with one of her closest supporters, former Deputy Police Chief Louis Lacey, recently indicted on bankruptcy fraud charges. Lacey's lawyer argues the charges are part of a broader effort to build a case against Henyard. As the situation grows more tense, the future of Thornton Township and Dolton remains uncertain. Residents are fed up, trustees are divided, and the community's future is at stake. Some have voiced their opinions on social media, with one commenter stating, "I'm quite sure she is the reason why the town has no insurance." Another added, "She doesn't pay her own bills, stop her," and continue to expose her. Meanwhile, Henyard's legal battle over the caucus continues. Her lawyer argues the process was riddled with irregularities, including last-minute rule changes and voter suppression. However, Harris's team insists the caucus was fair and legal. Senator Harris's spokesperson has refused to engage in political bickering, focusing instead on the critical issues that matter to the community. Election experts have raised concerns about the rules requiring a full slate of candidates, suggesting they may be too restrictive under federal law. Could this open the door for Henyard to challenge the results in court? Only time will tell.
People were getting let in at the proper time. We had a caucus, and the people voted for a slate of candidates to represent.
As this saga unfolds, one thing is clear. Tiffany Henyard is a fighter, determined to hold on to power at any cost. Whether it's suing political opponents, rallying supporters, or clashing with trustees, she's unwilling to back down. However, the toll on her town is undeniable. Thornton Township's finances are in disarray, its government is paralyzed, and residents are growing frustrated. The real question now is how far Henyard will go to maintain control, and what will remain of the town when the dust settles? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on this unfolding story.